Hi guys, thanks for watching Twig brother. I had a good crack at some turning at the weekend, but things kept going wrong, which does happen. Today I'm going to start seeing what I can do with this piece of, I think it might be Thorn, you know. It doesn't look entirely like Thorn to me, but I put it away about 20 years ago and I painted the ends blue. Don't know if you can see that. Just a little blue. That's the same colour as I painted the ends. And I'm pretty sure all the stuff I painted the ends of was Thorn. But we'll see. It's the right kind of colour for Thorn. I'm just kind of a bit surprised at the grain pattern. And I'm going to be using this screw chuck attachment, or at least I'm going to try. There are actually different ways I could start this turning off. But I'm going to try and start with the wood screw attachment, which, like all these Supernova things, is quite ingenious. It's got, let's make sure I've got that in the light. That is better. It's got 4 faces machined on it, 4 flats machined rather than just being a circle. And as I turn it there, I'm sure you can see those flats. There's, you know, they're opposite each other, and there's 4 of them, and they actually meet up with the flats on the inside of the inner jaws, which these are bolted to. And the inside of those meets up with these, and these kind of not exactly the teeth, but the edges, the inner edges of the jaw pieces grip into this, put that down a minute, grip into this recess here, and they hold it very firmly. And on the top you can also see the 4 flats in exactly the same positions, so you can align it. It's kind of ingenious, I think. So the first thing to do in this process really is to drill the hole in the blank, in the back of the blank, which is going to mount in the jaws, and which is going to actually have this stuck in it so it can mount in the jaws properly. Now to choose a drill, I find it quite helpful to get another drill. This drill has to be exactly the same width. This one's too narrow. It has to be exactly the same width as the solid portion through the middle, because that, you know, that isn't a screw, that is actually a metal rod. These are the bits that have got to bite, so we really want to leave this whole area where the teeth are to actually bite into the wood. So it's going to be really good to get a drill bit that perfectly matches down the middle. Let's just change the camera angle a bit, because I'd like you to be able to see above and below as I do this. And I settled on the 7mm. I've been holding them up, taking them out, checking them, and having a look through. It is quite hard to see on camera there, but that looks to me like it hides pretty well perfectly behind it. So I think this is the one we're going to go with. Now, I'm sorry I can't film this, but the lighting down where my drill press is terrible. It's in a cellar under the house, and it's just normal domestic light. I can see enough to drill, but I can't get any footage of it. The camera's just hopeless. So I tried a few different ones. Let's have a drink of tea. And I actually ended up going with 8mm in the end, which seems to be the exact diameter. I measured it while I was down there. Just possibly 8.5 would be better, but I want this on as tightly as I can get it, really. It's because it's the roughing stage first. That's when you get all the big thumping. I do not want it splitting. 2 out of my last 3 projects have split. I do not want this one to split. Right, got that as tight as I can. Now then, can you see? It's kind of difficult to make out because it is very subtle, but there are flats. There's a flat there, a flat there. No, I can't see the flats, right? The flats are aligned up with the screws, basically. And that means that the centre of the inside of the jaws is gripping them. So there, the chuck's in the vise now, and you can see the projection isn't that much here. If I put my finger, it's only just a bit higher than my finger in terms of sticking out of here. So what that must be about, a little bit over ½ an inch, which isn't bad, I suppose. Let's get this lined up with the hole. That's going on really nicely, actually. Well designed. I don't feel that this is about to split or anything. And it's just about, what happened there? No, the jaws have given out. Okay, I thought that might happen. I didn't really expect it to, but I thought it might. Just get them tight for now. That's knackered the alignment, but I'll get it screwed on and then we shall realign. Okay, it's not far off biting now. Surprised how far it's going on actually. That's that. Oh, let's virtually touch it. There we are. Just a little bit further than it naturally wants to go. So at last it's time to uncover the lathe. Oh. The turning part sometimes can be quite quick. I mean, it takes as long as it takes. You've always got to respect the fact that the tree took donkey's years to grow. But basically it has to take as long as it takes. That's the only way. And that does mean as much preparation as you think is necessary. And the more turning I do, the more preparation I think is necessary. If you've been following me, you'll see I did 3 projects in the last sort of week, 10 days. And 2 of them split. They're real simple, basic projects as well. But there we go. Thing to do is keep trying. So we're all mounted up here now. Let's very carefully ease this on to the thread. Hold it really carefully in the right orientation till it bites, and I'm still supporting it till it's nearly on. Nice thing about a chuck like the Supernova is all the edges around it doesn't sort of bite your fingers off as you're holding it or trying to move it or anything. Don't be complacent, do be careful. I'm not saying there's no problem, but that is one of the nicer things about this chuck. There we go. I'm quite pleased with the way that's going. There we go. Excuse the wobbly camera, it's because it's leaning against the lathe. Well, that looks all nicely aligned. Let's get cracking. I've got it mounted between centres because it's a very irregular piece. I've just started roughing it off now.